stolen ideas and influences from here and there to create hybrid dishes. I suppose you could call it cooking without borders. My canapes of salmon tartare chaat steal inspiration from France and the Middle East, but have all the fun and flavor of Mumbai. Next up, my citrusy vermicelli vegetable salad, quickly stir-fried Chinese style, but with South Indian spices. It's an easy and healthy dish that makes a perfect lunch or quick supper. Then to Hyderabad for a rich and aromatic Hyderabadimuttonmasala. Its flavors as complex as the state's history. To serve with my masala, I'll be making my very special pickled onions. Your table shouldn't ever be without them. They make a happy addition to just about any curry. Finally, I take the best elements of two of my favorite desserts, one British and one Indian, to create a heart-stoppingly good sticky carrot pudding with cardamom and butterscotch sauce. It's sticky, sweet and soothing. Everything you want from a good pudding. There's nothing I love more than food and travel. Flavors from around the world, a whiff of Italy, a pinch of Spain, a dash of India, the whole world in my kitchen. On my show, you'll get the best of global cuisine, served to you with my little twist. Born in Kenya, made in London, rooted in India, passionate home cook and a greedy girl. That's me, Ravinda, and I'm gonna whip up something delicious. I'm making a salmon tartare of sorts, but it takes inspiration from a Middle Eastern dish called kibbeh naye, but it's got all the fun of a chaupati chaat. I just like the flavor of spring onions here rather than shallots. I just think they're a bit more interesting. And I want heat, so I'm using a whole beautiful red chili. These long ones aren't too hot. Make sure everything's beautiful and finely chopped. And now for the salmon. I've got a really beautiful piece of salmon fillet here. And you can see I've taken the skin off. And just run your fingers over it and make sure there are no bones, because no one wants bones in their salmon tartare. I'm just going to chop it into little chunks. And that's going straight into my bowl. And this is the Middle Eastern part. I've got some bulgur wheat here, but you could use couscous if you couldn't find any bulgur wheat. And all I've done is soaked it in icy cold water and then just drained it. I'm going to put a little bit of this in, crumble it in, and it just gives it a really lovely texture. Quick stir, and it needs some seasoning. I've got sea salt, ground black pepper, and I've got some cumin here which I've just roasted and then ground up to a fine powder, and some olive oil, extra virgin, just to bring it all together. And that's the base of it done, but I'm not quite finished. I've got yogurt here, and into the yogurt I'm going to just put a little bit of salt and some finely crushed garlic, and I'm going to give it a good mix. So this is how I serve it. I've got some little spoons here, and onto each spoon I'm going to place a little bit of the tartare. serve it on pieces of crisped up lavash bread. And then a little bit of the yogurt on each spoon. And I've got fish here, so I want something that's quite sharp and sour. So I'm using chaat masala, and this is where the chaupati chaat bit comes in. And really, when I make them in spoons like this, it does leave people licking their spoons, and chaat really does mean to lick, so I'm not surprised at all. And then this is just some sweetness, but also these are quite sharp, a couple of pomegranate seeds, and they look so pretty. And I need the freshness of a herb, so I've got coriander here. And there it is, my salmon tartar chaat. I think there's nothing messier than serving cocktails without something to go with it. And these are the perfect accompaniment to a cold glass of champagne. From the flavors of the Middle East now, over to China and South India for my next dish, some spicy vermicelli vegetable salad. Heat the oil in a wok and add the urad dal. Add mustard seeds. When they start to pop, add the asafoetida, curry leaves, chilies, turmeric, ginger and lime juice. Throw in the vegetables and stir fry briefly, keeping them crisp. Next, pour in the coconut milk, add the pre-cooked vermicelli and toss well. Add seasoning to taste. Take off the heat and pop into a serving dish. Scattered generously with toasted coconut, peanuts and coriander leaves for freshness. This dish is a simple one to add to your repertoire. It's delicious eaten hot or cold. After a canapé and a salad, I want something hearty and filling. So coming right up, another jewel of a dish with regal roots, my Hyderabadi mutton masala. Next, I'm making a dish from one of my favorite gastronomic regions in India, Hyderabad, and its flavor is as rich and complex as Hyderabad's history. I'm starting with a pan into which I'm going to put some oil, groundnut oil here. As soon as the oil is hot, I'm going to go in with some whole spices. I've got beautiful black cardamom here, then green cardamom, which is more perfumed. I'm also using that. I've got star anise, and I've got cassia bark. You could use cinnamon if you can't get cassia bark, and some cloves too. I've just lightly bruised the spices and they're going straight in. And as soon as they hit the oil, you get this waft of fragrance. And in with those, some onions. I've just sliced them up. The onions are softening up and I'm looking for a nice golden color on them, some caramelization. I'm using mutton, which takes longer cooking, and it's mutton shoulder, which is best when it's cooked slowly. And that's going straight into my slowly browned onions, all of that. Let it mingle with the flavor of the onions of these whole spices. Now in with some salt and then water, and that's it for now. This is going to cook slowly now for about 45 minutes on a really low heat, covered, till the mutton goes beautifully tender. And that gives me the perfect amount of time to make the most indispensable condiment, pickled onions, and they're found on tables from Britain right through to India. In a medium saucepan, combine vinegar, sugar, cinnamon sticks, bay leaves, cloves, peppercorns, and dried chilies. Bring to a boil on a high heat. Pop sliced onions into an airtight jar and top with the brining liquid. Seal and leave to cool. Leave overnight, and the onions will soften and take on the flavor of the wonderful spices. My mutton masala has been bubbling away merrily for about 45 minutes now, and I'm just going to cook up the paste that's going to go in it, the spice mix, and this is what makes it Hyderabadi. I'm starting off with some oil in a pan, and then I'm going in with a whole load of spices, earthy cumin, fennel seeds. This is the Kashmiri influence right here. And talking of Kashmir, these beautiful red Kashmiri peppers. It looks like I'm adding a lot, but remember these aren't hot. They just give it a lovely red color. And then coriander seeds too. And ginger and garlic, and I've got some chili in here. And I'm just going to move that all around in the pan till it becomes aromatic. When you start to smell it, you know it's almost ready. It means the spices have cooked out. And now I'm going in with poppy seeds, couscous, and nariyal, just some fresh grated coconut, a couple of handfuls, just like that. And I'm going to move it around the pan again for a couple of minutes. That's beautifully cooked. I'm taking it off the heat, and I'm going to puree it with a little bit of water just in my blender. So in it goes, all of it. I'm going to give it a quick grind before I add the liquid. Bit of water. And again. And that's it. It's perfectly chopped up and smooth. You can see how rich and thick that masala is. It smells incredible. And that's going to go straight into my dish of mutton. Just bubbling away very beautifully. It's going to get a lot redder. So I'm going to leave it alone again for about 15 to 20 minutes and come back to it. Well, my mutton masala is ready, and it's a good job too because I'm starving. I'm just going to serve it up with some chapatis, and I just love the color of it. It's just red from those beautiful Kashmiri chilies. And it smells so deep and earthy. This is a really hearty curry. And some coriander just to finish it. Just torn over the top. And the wonderful pickled onions that I made, that just add a sharpness to it. Well, it looks like my patience has paid off. It looks so delicious, so I'm sure it's going to be worth every single minute. Heat some oil in a pan. Saute black cardamoms, green cardamoms, star anise, cassia bark, and cloves till fragrant. Add onions and fry till caramelized. Throw in the mutton, some salt, and 500 ml of water and mix well. Bring it to the boil and then simmer over a low heat for 45 minutes until the mutton is tender. To prepare the spice mix, heat 2 tablespoons of oil in a non-stick pan. Add cumin seeds, fennel seeds, dried red Kashmiri chilies, coriander seeds, ginger, garlic, chilies, and saute till fragrant. Add poppy seeds and coconut and cook for a further 2 minutes or so. Transfer this mixture into a blender and grind into a fine paste with a little water. Add the blended paste to the mutton, season to taste, cover and cook for a further 10 minutes. Transfer into a serving bowl and serve hot. This dish is best eaten with hot puffs of chaupati and my pickled onions. Coming up after the break, I find solace in a pudding. My British Punjabi sticky carrot pudding with cardamom butterscotch sauce. What do you get when you cross the sticky toffee pudding with a gajar ka halwa? My sticky carrot pudding. It satisfies both my British and Punjabi palate. I'm starting off my pudding the way all good puddings start, with butter and sugar, and I'm using soft brown sugar here. And this isn't really a sponge, it's heavy, it's more of a muffin, and that heaviness comes from the denseness and the toffee note of this soft brown sugar, all of that. And I'm going to go in with my whisk and just cream it all up. Once the butter and sugar are well incorporated and sticky like this, I'm going in with even more sweetness, some golden treacle. So beautiful, look at that beautiful amber color. And to that, some really sticky black treacle. It's got a wonderful licorice flavor to it. Just building up layers of sticky sweetness. And some flour now. I've got plain flour, and I'm just going to fold it in a half at a time. And the rest of that. It already smells so sticky with that treacle in it. And at the moment it looks quite dry, but the wet ingredients are going to go in now. So eggs, one at a time. And now the spices, quite traditional, some ginger, powdered ginger, and then my little twist, some wonderful cardamom seeds which I've just ground down. And this is where the nose of it changes from Britain to India, because this now smells like gajar ka halwa. And then for more sweetness and stickiness, I've got some pitted dates here, and I've just soaked them in some freshly brewed Assam tea. And I've kept the blend quite strong. I really want to taste the Indian tea in this. And what I need to do is just pour them into this blender and puree them. All of that. And I'm putting in some bicarbonate of soda, and that's what's going to give the cake rise and bubbles. And on with the lid and blend. That's perfect. I'm just going to pour that straight into my mix here. Give it a good mix. And the mixture is going to completely loosen up now too. Look at how rich and dark that is. All those sweet dates. And that's the cake batter pretty much done, but not quite complete. It's missing the essential and main ingredient, carrots. I've just got 2 carrots here which I've grated. And I'm going to pop those in. If you wanted to make this even richer, You could add nuts, some chopped up pecans, pistachios, almonds, or even walnuts would do nicely. Well, that's done. I'm just going to pour them into my little pudding molds now. And I've buttered these up because I don't want it to stick. And I'm just going to pour it in. Just leave a little gap at the top because they do rise while they're baking. As I'm pouring it in, I can really smell that hit of ginger and cardamom. So warming. And these are ready to bake now. They bake for about 35 minutes at 190 degrees. And I've already got a batch baking, so I'm going to put these in the fridge and save them to bake later. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to get on with the butterscotch sauce. Just going to clear my surface before I get on with the delicious sauce, which couldn't be easier. 3 ingredients. Sugar to make a light caramel. And I'm just going to let that melt away until it reaches a light whiskey color. And once the sugar's melted like this, I'm just going to pour in some double cream. Be careful because it will spit out at you. Just going to stir that in. And then beat in some butter too to make it extra rich. And that's your butterscotch sauce. So delicious. And that's it. That's my butterscotch sauce done. Look at how glossy it is. And my puddings are ready too, and I'm just going to pop them out of the oven. And they look perfectly done. And I can't wait to eat them. And the wonderful thing about puddings like this is they are supposed to be eaten hot. Just going to pull it off the pan. Run my knife around it just to loosen it up. It's hot. And then just upturn it on my plate. It slides straight out, perfectly done, and just ready for a liberal spooning of butterscotch sauce all over the top. And there it is, my sticky carrot pudding with butterscotch sauce. My 2 favorite puddings in one saccharine hit. Frankly, I can't think of a better way to end a meal. We may all wish for world peace, and it may never be, but where flavors are concerned, I think I've proved whether they come from China, India, or the Middle East, they can all work together.